I came home to find my room empty. Mom tossed my clothes on the lawn and said, "You're not welcome here anymore." I nodded, grabbed my keys, and left without a word. 3 months later, he sent 29 messages saying, "Please come home." I, 24M, pulled into the driveway after a 12-hour shift at the warehouse and knew immediately something was wrong. My clothes were scattered across the front lawn like confetti after a parade nobody wanted to attend. Shirts I'd owned since high school, jeans with paint stains from helping Dad renovate the garage 2 summers ago. Even my work boots sat in a heap near the mailbox. The sprinklers had been on earlier. Everything was damp. Mom stood on the porch with her arms crossed. Her face set in that expression I'd seen 1,000 times growing up. The one that meant the decision was final and arguing would only make things worse. She told me I wasn't welcome there anymore. No explanation. No warning. Just those words hanging in the humid evening air between us. I asked her what I'd done. She said I knew exactly what I'd done and that she wasn't going to stand there and list my failures like reading a grocery list. Dad stood behind her in the doorway, looking at his shoes. He didn't say anything. Didn't even look up. My younger brother watched from his bedroom window upstairs. I could see the curtain move when I glanced up. He was 17, still had a year of high school left. I wondered if he knew this was coming. I didn't argue. Didn't beg. I walked across the lawn and started gathering my things, shoving what I could into garbage bags I found crumpled near the recycling bin. Mom went back inside. Dad followed her. The door closed, and I heard the lock click. It took me 3 trips to load everything into my beat-up Honda. Some things were too wet to save. I left them there. By the time I finished, the sun had set completely, and the motion sensor lights kept flickering on and off as I moved back and forth across the yard. None of the neighbors came out, though I knew Mrs. Peterson next door was probably watching through her kitchen window like she always did. I grabbed my keys from the last bag, got in my car, and left. Didn't look back at the house. Didn't cry. Didn't feel much of anything except a weird numbness in my chest that made it hard to breathe normally. I drove to my buddy's apartment across town. He opened the door in his underwear, holding a controller, clearly in the middle of a gaming session. I asked if I could crash on his couch for a few days. He took one look at the garbage bags in my arms and stepped aside without questions. That first week was a blur. I went to work, came back to the couch, stared at the ceiling until I fell asleep. My friend tried to get me to talk about it, but I told him there wasn't much to say. My mom kicked me out. That was it. He didn't push. The real story was more complicated, but I wasn't ready to unpack it yet. The truth was that I'd made a choice 3 months earlier that my parents didn't agree with. My girlfriend had gotten pregnant. We'd been together for 2 years, known each other since middle school. When she told me, I felt my entire future rearrange itself in real time. We'd talked about what to do, and ultimately she decided she wasn't ready to be a mother. I supported her decision. I went with her to the clinic. I held her hand. Somehow my mom found out. I still don't know how. Maybe someone saw us there. Maybe my girlfriend told someone who told someone else. Small towns work like that. Mom confronted me one night after dinner, asking me point blank if it was true. I told her yes. She asked if I understood what I'd helped do. I said I understood I'd supported the person I loved through an incredibly difficult decision. She called it murder. I told her it wasn't her choice to make. The conversation ended there. For 2 weeks after that, things were icy but functional. Mom barely spoke to me. Dad acted like nothing had happened. Then I came home to my clothes on the lawn. By the end of the first month, I'd saved enough from my paychecks to put down a deposit on a studio apartment in a cheaper part of town. It was small, barely enough room for a bed and a dresser, but it was mine. My friend helped me move the few things I owned. We grabbed pizza after, and he told me I seemed different. Calmer, maybe. I wasn't sure if that was true, but I didn't feel angry. I felt free. I blocked my parents' numbers. Blocked my brother's too, even though he'd texted me once asking if I was okay. I told him I was fine, and then blocked him before he could respond. I didn't want updates about home. Didn't want to know if Mom was asking about me, or if Dad felt bad. I needed clean separation. Work became my focus. I picked up extra shifts. Volunteered for weekend inventory. My supervisor noticed and started giving me more responsibility. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I just needed to stay busy. The apartment was too quiet when I was alone with my thoughts. My girlfriend and I broke up 6 weeks after I moved out. Not because of what happened, but because we'd both changed. The experience had altered something fundamental between us. We tried to pretend everything was normal, but the conversations felt forced. She said she needed space to figure things out. I understood. We hugged goodbye in a coffee shop parking lot and promised to stay friends. We haven't spoken since. Month 2 brought unexpected changes. My supervisor pulled me aside and said the company was opening a new distribution center 2 hours north. They needed someone reliable to help with the setup crew. The pay was significantly better. Housing stipend included. I said yes before he finished explaining the details. I gave notice on my apartment, packed everything into my car again, and drove north on a Tuesday morning. The new city was bigger, busier. Nobody knew me there. Nobody knew my story. I found a decent one-bedroom place near the facility and settled in. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. The work was brutal. 12 to 14-hour days, sometimes 6 days a week. But I liked it. Like coming home exhausted, too tired to think about anything except sleep. My bank account grew steadily. I started looking at community college courses online, thinking maybe I'd finally finish that degree I'd abandoned 2 years ago. 3 months after I left, my phone buzzed with notifications I couldn't ignore. I'd unblocked my family's numbers the week before, not because I wanted to reconnect, but because blocking felt like I was still giving them power over me. The messages came in rapid succession, all from Dad. He said he missed me. Said Mom missed me too, though she wouldn't admit it. Said my brother asked about me constantly. Said the house felt wrong without me there. Said he was sorry for not standing up for me. Said he should have said something that day on the porch. Said Mom had been crying. Said they wanted me to come home for Sunday dinner. Said we could talk things through like adults. Said family was supposed to stick together. Said he'd always love me no matter what. 29 messages total. I read them all sitting on my apartment floor with my back against the couch, watching the sun set through the window. The last message was different from the others. Dad said Mom had been to the doctor. They'd found something during a routine checkup. Tests were being run. He didn't want to worry me, but he thought I should know. He said Mom kept asking if I was eating enough, if I had a warm place to stay, if I was taking care of myself. He said she missed me even if she couldn't say it. I stared at that message for a long time. Part of me wanted to feel vindicated, wanted to feel like maybe this was karma, that the universe was balancing the scales. But I didn't feel any of that. I just felt tired. I didn't respond that night, or the next day, or the day after that. I went to work, came home, lived my life. The messages sat unanswered in my phone like stones in my pocket. A week later, my brother called. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. He sounded older than I remembered, his voice deeper. He asked where I was, if I was safe. I told him I was fine, that I had a job and an apartment, and everything was good. He said he was glad. Then he said Mom was scared. The tests had come back. Breast cancer, stage 2. Treatable, but aggressive. Surgery scheduled for next month. He asked if I was coming home. I told him I'd think about it. He said that wasn't good enough, that Mom needed me whether she'd admit it or not. I told him Mom made her choice when she threw my stuff on the lawn. He got quiet. Then he said I was right, that what she did was messed up, but that she was still our mother. I told him I'd think about it, and hung up. I didn't sleep that night. Just lay in bed staring at the ceiling, running through scenarios in my head. I could go back. Could walk into that house and pretend everything was fine, sit at the dinner table and make small talk while carefully avoiding the elephant in the room. Could play the dutiful son while Mom went through treatment, be there for family photos and hospital visits and all the performative gestures that people do when someone's sick. Or I could stay away. Could let them deal with this the way they'd force me to deal with being disowned. Could let Dad's messages pile up unanswered. Could let Mom wonder if I was okay while she went through her own crisis. Could demonstrate exactly what they'd taught me about conditional love. The decision should have been harder than it was. I texted my brother the next morning, told him to keep me updated on Mom's condition, that I wanted to know how the surgery went and how recovery was progressing. Told him I wasn't coming home, but that I didn't wish her any harm. Told him to tell Dad to stop messaging me. Told him I loved him and to focus on his senior year. He responded with 3 words. I understand. Okay. Dad's messages stopped. My brother sent updates every few days. Mom's surgery went well. She was starting chemo. She'd lost her hair. She was tired all the time. Dad had taken leave from work to be home with her. They joined a support group. She was responding well to treatment. I read every update and felt nothing. Maybe that made me a terrible person. Maybe I should have felt guilt or sadness or concern. But I'd spent 3 months rebuilding myself from nothing, and I wasn't going to tear that down for people who'd made it clear I was disposable. 4 months after I left, I got accepted into an online program for business management. Started classes while working full-time. My supervisor said I had real potential, that if I stuck with it I could move into operations management within a few years. I started seeing someone I'd met at the gym, nothing serious but nice. Comfortable. 5 months after I left, my brother graduated high school. He sent me a photo of himself in his cap and gown. I sent back congratulations and a Venmo gift. He thanked me. Said Mom had asked about me that day, wondered if I'd come. He told her no. He said she'd nodded and gone quiet. 6 months after I left, Dad sent one final message. Said Mom was in remission. Said treatment had been successful. Said they were grateful. Said the house still felt empty. Said my room was exactly as I'd left it, waiting for me. Said the door was always open if I changed my mind. I read it twice, then deleted it. Didn't block the number, just deleted the message. Then I went about my day. Update 1. It's been a year now since I drove away from that house with garbage bags full of damp clothes. My life looks completely different. I got promoted to shift supervisor. Finished my first semester with a 3.8 GPA. Moved into a bigger apartment with my girlfriend. Yes, the gym girl became more serious. She knows the whole story, doesn't judge me for it. My brother texts me regularly now. He's at community college, doing well. He came to visit me 2 months ago, spent a weekend here. We didn't talk about Mom and Dad much. Mostly just caught up, acted like normal brothers. It was good. He told me Mom asks about me sometimes. Wants to know if I'm happy, if I'm healthy. Dad apparently keeps my room maintained. Dusts it weekly like I'm going to walk back through the door any day. My brother said it's kind of sad, watching them pretend everything's normal while obviously missing me. I asked him if Mom ever said she was sorry. He said no. Said she talks around it. Says things like she wishes circumstances were different or that families should find ways to reconcile. But never an actual apology. Never acknowledgement that throwing me out was wrong. That told me everything I needed to know. Last month I got a letter in the mail. My address forwarded from my old apartment. It was from Mom. 3 pages of careful handwriting. She said she'd been thinking about me constantly. Said she was grateful for her health returning. Said she understood I was angry but hoped time had given me perspective. Said what I'd done still hurt her, but she was willing to move past it if I was. Said family meant forgiveness. Said she loved me and wanted me home. Not once did she say she was wrong. Not once did she acknowledge that her love came with conditions, that she discarded me the moment I made a choice she disagreed with. The entire letter was about her feelings, her pain, her willingness to forgive me. I wrote back. Kept it short. I told her I was glad she was healthy. Told her I'd built a good life for myself and was happy. Told her I hoped she and Dad were doing well. Then I told her something I'd been carrying for a year. I told her that the day she threw my clothes on the lawn, she taught me that her love was conditional. That as long as I met her expectations and followed her rules, I was her son. But the moment I stepped outside those boundaries, I became disposable. I told her that wasn't love. That was control. I told her I'd supported someone I loved through an impossible decision, and I'd do it again. That I wasn't ashamed and wouldn't apologize. That her disapproval didn't make me wrong. I told her that when I needed my family most, she chose judgment over compassion, and that I'd learned to live without her just fine. I told her the door she claimed was always open had been locked the day she decided her beliefs mattered more than her son, and that I wasn't interested in walking back through it. I mailed it the next day. Didn't hear anything back. Update 2. It's been 18 months now. My brother called last week, voice tight with something I couldn't quite identify. He said Dad had a heart attack. Mild one, but scary enough to land him in the hospital overnight. He's home now, recovering. Doctors said stress was a major factor. My brother said Mom was barely holding it together. Said she's convinced this is happening because their family is broken. Said she's been talking about me constantly since Dad got home, wondering if I know, if I care. I asked him what he wanted me to do. He said he didn't know. Said he wasn't asking me to come home, wasn't trying to guilt me. Just thought I should know. Then he said something that stuck with me. He said he used to think I was being stubborn, that I should just apologize and move on. But now that he's older, he understands why I left. Said Mom and Dad never learned that controlling people doesn't mean loving them. I told him to keep me updated on Dad's recovery. Told him to tell Dad I hoped he felt better soon. Nothing more. My girlfriend asked if I was okay after I hung up. I said I was. She asked if I felt guilty. I thought about it for a while before answering. I told her no. I didn't feel guilty. I felt sad that things had gone this way. Sad that my parents valued their righteousness more than their son. But I didn't feel guilty for choosing myself. She held my hand and didn't say anything. Sometimes that's all you need. I'm finishing my degree this spring. Already been offered a management position at a new facility opening in another state. Better pay, better opportunities. My girlfriend's coming with me. We're talking about getting engaged. My life is good. Better than good. I have people who love me without conditions, who support my choices even when they wouldn't make the same ones. I have a future I'm building on my own terms. My parents have their beliefs in their empty room gathering dust. They made their choice. I made mine. I don't think either of us is coming back from it. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes love means knowing when to walk away. If you'd like to see more stories like this, a gentle tap on the subscribe button would mean the world to us.